Hey, it's been a while since we've played a guessing game. We're not great at these. So we'll see how this goes. Although tonight we might have an advantage because we picked 5 each.
Mm-hmm.
5 each books that we have read this year. So we've never really limited ourselves like this.
No. So to give you an idea of how this works, we either read the back of a book, a random line in a book, or the first sentence of a book, and try and guess what the book is. I think for these, we're doing a random sentence because it's been so narrowed, right?
Yeah, good idea.
The 2023 is moving along, and I think we're around somewhere at like 35 books that we've read over this couple months. So we have a wide range to choose from, but not necessarily as wide as we would if we were going any book we've ever read.
Yeah, for sure. And it's tricky because a lot of them are audiobooks that we may not necessarily own. Okay, maybe for him especially. I think I might own all the audiobooks I've listened to this year.
Yeah.
Anyway, so maybe we'll be okay.
Maybe.
Should I go first?
Yep, you go first. I will close my eyes,
your eyes.
and I'm going to listen.
Try not to get a reflection there. There we go. Okay. Ready for this?
I'm ready.
The commander whispered to his assistant, who nodded and then said, "We will, of course, provide you with whatever you need, but," he bit his lip, "exactly how many soldiers should we have prepared for the morning?" Should we have prepared?
Soldiers. Okay.
That's a little vague. Do you want me to go some more?
Sure, maybe just a little bit more.
Soldiers? Yes. How many do you think you'll need to subdue Nifron and his Galantians? Will 50 be enough? Would you prefer more? Now it's her turn to be puzzled. Why in Farrell's name would I need soldiers?
Is this the Powder Mage series? Promise of Blood or something like that?
No.
No. Okay.
I can find another sentence.
No, that's fine.
I'm so glad, because I don't think I'm going to do well. The names are difficult.
Okay. Names are difficult.
Do you want me to read another one?
Sure.
The guard changed every few hours, always the same 3. Persephone, Suri, and the old woman whose name Arian didn't know.
Oh, hold on.
Orion?
It's like Age of Myth.
Yes, Age of Myth.
Gotcha. Okay.
Good job.
Yep. Great. This is good. Obviously, I didn't remember it as well as some of the other ones I want, although kind of vague. I read a lot of fantasy, and it turns out there's soldiers in lots of fantasy.
That's common.
And try to get there. But I really, really enjoyed this book. I didn't think I would enjoy it as much as I did, but it was a very interesting read and really interesting start into the series. Plus, what really got me was the cover here with the giant tree.
That tree.
Right. So I gave this, I think, 3 to 4 stars. It was a pretty good book, but not necessarily into the 5-star range. But it was a solid fantasy offering. If you're interested in something good, I think is called the Legends of the First Empire series. I'm excited to read more of it. But I think if you like just fantasy, kind of Dragonlance, Wheel of Time, that type of high fantasy, you'll like this book.
You're going to continue the series?
Yes, I'm definitely going to continue this series.
Cool. All right, I'm ready.
Okay.
I've read way less books than you have, but I'm still nervous.
Well, all for one and one for all, Juniper declared.
Juniper.
She ruined this immediately thereafter by adding some relish. Daddy roll over in his grave if he could see us.
Is this, it's Juniper. The Dead Romantics.
Nope.
Juniper.
Do you need the line?
Juniper.
He fought for the Yanks, but because they gave him $50 and a bottle of rye. Miss Quinn tilted her head. Tell me, Miss Eastwood, how much all of this?
Wait, oh, it's the witches one. Once and Future Witches. Once and Future.
Good job.
Juniper. Wow, guys, I haven't even had book club on this one yet, and I couldn't remember Juniper's name. Fun. Okay, sorry. Once and Future Witches. This is the story about 3 sisters who are witches. I got a little bored in this book. It was like a little snooze festy where it's a lot of feminism and a lot of politics, but kind of in a boring way. So, but these witches are really cool. What's the year? 18 something. It's really, really fun because you get to know those three characters that are really, really different. This is like the perfect scenario for if you liked this, read this situation. I don't know if they're in here. They are. Will you grab that? 3 Dark Crowns.
Ooh.
Thanks. Okay, this book, 3 Dark Crowns, is a series, and I would say if you like this book, you need to read this series. So similar. You got 3 sisters. There's magic. There's like the familiars. Anyway, it's really, really cute. This one, I don't know if I would totally recommend it, but I haven't had book club yet, so I'm really curious to see if
Based off of what other people say, then maybe she'll recommend it. Is that how
sometimes
this
it
works?
does alter my my opinions about it. Can't believe I didn't remember Juniper.
All right.
That's all.
Yeah, oh, great.
Okay.
All righty. So I don't remember any of the character names in any of my books, I swear.
Seriously, well, there's too many sometimes. Okay. I don't think that's glaring too much. You seem proud of the strength you have granted the humans. Do you not care what happens to them? He met her gaze as he pressed another kiss to her fingers. What good is strength without adversity? Axis and Trustily have their parts to play in the human's evolution.
Hold on. What is this book? I can think of the plot, and I just can't think of the title of this book.
Do you want like more names?
Maybe?
Myropa watched until Decivi. These are weird names too. Decivi disappeared. He was a sight to admire, and she was sure he knew.
Yeah, so she is...
She then closed her eyes.
Hold on. This is Under the Whispering Door?
No.
Okay. I read it right at the exact same time, and they're both talking about kind of death. Okay, this is Fate of the Fallen.
Yes.
Yeah.
Very
Gotcha.
good.
Yep.
You touched it. Did that like
No.
give you
I
powers?
knew what it was, just thinking about it, right? So, interesting. I really, really like this book. Didn't think I was going to like it as much as I did. Really, really liked it. So, the line we were just reading was a lady who is enslaved to a god, right? And acts somewhat like a Grim Reaper, which is why I thought it may have been Under the Whispering Door, because that is a very similar thing that's happening there, right? Very much kind of death based. One of the things I loved about this is kind of it flips a trope on its head. You have a chosen one who in the first couple chapters dies. And you have a friend who decides, you know what, I'm going to pick up and do, like, I'm not going to give up just because the the chosen one died.
Elsa, Anna.
I'm going to go do what he does. And the interesting thing is he's carrying around his friend's head because he needed proof to show the king that his friend had died. But his friend's head starts talking to him. And so he thinks he's going crazy, and he probably is. But
Can he not see the lips moving?
well, no, he's dead. But it just the head talks to him, so it's unclear if he's crazy or not. But man, is the head funny. Anyways, really, really good book. I thoroughly enjoyed that.
That's fun.
All right, eyes closed.
Eyes closed.
Ready?
Mm-hmm.
Billy got very angry when
Billy.
Daisy slacked off.
This is Daisy and Jones and the Six.
Suck. There you go.
Billy and Daisy in one sentence. That was excellent. This is Daisy Jones and the Six. The TV show comes out like now. I think it is already out. It's already out.
TV show and a movie?
TV show. There's 10 episodes.
okay.
It's like a mini series. So like,
All right.
I don't know.
So I gathered a little bit from you reading this that this is a band.
Yes, band in the 70s and
Okay.
wild. 70s were wild.
Oh, I see.
And just the lifestyle is nuts. Anyway, this book is crazy because it is written in interview format. There's like, I'd say, I don't know, I'm so surprised at the flow of it. Like, it was so easy to read, so fast. Like, you're turning the page fast just because it's not well, there's all these breaks in the page, but it flows so well for being in an interview format.
Interesting.
I really enjoyed it. It is, I think I would recommend this book to a lot of people. It was really
Is
good.
this the one that you heard about in the middle of a bookstore? You overheard someone recommending somebody else and you went up and got it yourself?
That is this book. I went up and I was like, hey, what book are you talking about? Because she was just saying how she loves it, and she gave it to her dad, and he loved it, and she gave it to her friend, and she loved it. So I'm like, hey, what are you talking about? And she told me, and I grabbed it. Like, that's good enough for me. If you loved it and multiple people loved it, I'll take that.
All right.
I'm really curious to see how the show lives up. I actually have book club on this one too. I guess that's a theme.
Maybe you have too many book clubs. I'm just saying.
Yeah, that is a bit ridiculous. But I'm waiting to watch the show until after book club. I'll report back.
All right. Okay.
Oh no, I'm not covering my eyes.
Eyes closed.
Thanks for saying Billy and Daisy.
You're welcome.
Okie dokie. For the rest of the day, I saw little of my father. He was busy, I knew, and he put Withywoods into an uproar with his business. Nothing, Withywoods? Okay.
Stop.
Cool.
Stop reading.
Okay.
This is one of the Farseer, not Farseer, Elderling one, probably Fool's Assassin,
Yeah, you got
right?
it.
And the reason you stop reading is you don't want to spoil anything,
Thank you.
right?
I was about to say, I'm really scared to open
You're
this
the
one.
beginning of this series, and you're reading the finale in the series. Like, just the wrong line in here would have ruined so much. So much.
But I almost said that out loud, like I'm scared to open it, but
By the way,
I'm giving it away.
By the way, Elderling series is quickly becoming one of my favorite fantasy series of all time. Like, it is right now, and I have the last book left, just a notch under Wheel of Time for my favorite fantasy series.
Holy cow.
Just the completeness of the series, from beginning to end, the tapestry that it weaves of complex plots together, especially when so for instance, the first two trilogies, Farseer trilogy and Liveship, they are not connected at all. It's not till later where these things start weaving together and you realize, like, oh, these are very connected. You just didn't know. Right, and so it just, but two of my favorite trilogies, and just builds upon each other. And this last one, which I believe is called the Fitz and the Fool trilogy, is phenomenal. Really enjoyed the first two books of it, and I'm super excited to read the third.
I finished the second one in the Farseer trilogy yesterday, and I met him. He was coming up the stairs, and I was coming out of the bedroom, turned to the stairs. Like, I was mad at him. Like, how did you not get this 5 stars? Like, I was kind of I need an explanation now, because that was a 5-star book. It was so good. So I'm hooked, and I started 3 today, and I'm loving it.
Okay,
So.
you have 13 more books to go.
Golly.
16 books.
Okay, well,
Worthwhile.
I'm working on it.
I'm saying I want Robin Hobb to write more books.
Robin Hobb, write more books.
Please do it. I know you're old, but you can do it.
He's had a crush on her for a really long time. I'm getting there.
Yeah, now you know it.
Yeah.
Okay, my turn to read, huh? Okay.
Let me guess. It's Fool's Assassin. What's it
Nope.
called? That was yours. The Assassin's Apprentice.
No. All right, ready?
Okay. Yeah. No. Oh no, was it an inappropriate scene? Oh no. Go to the beginning of it. Why are you laughing?
The palm that was cupping my face fell, and a finger trailed down the skin of my arm.
Stop.
I didn't speak. I didn't think I could.
Is that a Spanish love deception?
It is the Spanish love deception.
Definitely the steamiest book of the year, but not till the last chapter.
He stepped closer, the tips of his shoes grazing mine, our bodies almost touching. I braced my hands on my arms, not trusting myself anymore, seeing how much I was shaking.
It's funny
how
because
I shivered.
I see where you're at, and I'm not nervous, so. That's actually a big spoiler alert. Sorry. This book is fun. It's just enemies to lovers. They are in the same workplace, and she needs a date to her sister's wedding in Spain, and he's like, I'll go. And they go to Spain together.
Because who wouldn't invite their workplace enemy to go to Spain with them on a fake date?
She didn't really invite him. He invited himself.
Because who wouldn't accept the invitation of a weirdo who invited themselves to Spain with you when they're your workplace enemy?
Yeah. Anyway.
Also, who has workplace enemies? I don't know.
I feel like it happens.
I mean, I'm sure it does, but yeah. Anyways.
Anyway, so it's a fun read. It's a good read. I feel like
I purposely picked that one just to see how red her face would get as I
did it
started
get
reading.
pretty red?
I don't know, but I loved how you immediately knew what it was and
why
had me
else
stop.
would you be giggling?
Okay, fair enough. Fair enough.
It's a good book. It does get a little
Steamy,
just like the last two chapters. It kind of just hits
spicy.
you.
It was on the spicy table at Barnes and Noble.
It was probably on the spicy table at Barnes and Noble.
All right. Okay.
Okay.
Eyes closed.
Yes. Okay. We know instinctively that we cannot explore every single piece of information we encounter in our lives. Discerning.
Did you stop there?
Yep.
I think this is not effortless, but essentialism.
Yeah. Discerning what is essential. I had to stop. I couldn't finish
Yep,
that
got it.
sentence.
So I read Effortless, which is the second book as well. Really, 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 really good. When it comes to kind of the self-help genre, this to me is one of the essential, no pun intended, books for you to read here.
Good one.
Right? So the interesting thing is we're often tasked with way too much to do. And what we find is that the majority of the value that we actually bring to our lives comes from kind of a minority of the things that we actually do. And so if we can eliminate the things that aren't bringing value to our life, but take a lot of the time, we actually free up time to do the things that add value more and better, and it provides better value for everybody. And that's really what this book is about. And Greg McKeown does an incredible job at detailing this in a way that is easy to read, easy to understand, and really makes you think about your life and what you want it to be about. Highly, highly recommended. Obviously, because I made you read it.
Yeah, I
immediately
actually read this book this year also, and I would not have given the same review because I don't talk like he talks. Really good though. I gave it 4 stars. He does get a little bit repetitive towards the end, so I was kind of like,
That's kind of every self-help book.
yeah, not Atomic Habits.
You didn't think so?
I finished that yesterday.
I
and
think
was
Atomic Habits repeats itself towards the end.
just the conclusion, maybe. I think Atomic Habits was the first one I read ever that didn't like get into the same thing over and over.
That's fair.
Sorry, that's a tangent, but really good book.
Awesome. Great. Okay, ready?
Yeah.
Eyes closed? Mm-hmm. I haven't really been showing the camera. I've just been reading.
Oh.
I whirled around and watched them go. Holy, well, okay. Shiz talked about the spring winds, right, Ben? There was no response,
Hold
Ben.
on. Because
but he was gone.
just because there was a swear word in the first sentence they tried to read, is this Demon Copperhead?
No.
Oh, okay.
Do you want me to read the next one?
Yes, please.
When I reached the bottom of Ridge, Carver's blue Ford pickup was parked in the lot. He dipped his head out of the open window, a John Deere flat hat flipped backwards on his head, and waved over to me. He had a beautifully carved wooden bird cage in the passenger seat he had made himself, strapped in for safekeeping. I let out a low whistle when I saw it. Is that mahogany?
What in the heck are you reading? A Carver with a truck and a bird cage in the front of his truck. Carver.
Should I help you here? He playfully slammed me on the arm. Slammed me on the arm. Shush, just wait until you sell the next Harry Potter. Then you'll be rolling in the dough and everyone will want to be their best friend, perhaps with benefits if they're lucky. I rolled my eyes. No one will sell the next Harry Potter. It hit a zeitgeist that'll never be recreated, and because there's so much to choose from now, it's near impossible to predict the next publishing trend. Okay, he groaned. I get it. Uncle, I call Uncle. I stuck out my tongue and then nudged my chin towards the birdcage. What's that for anyways?
I'm so lost. She's an author. The author. Are you sure I read this year?
Well, it was on the reading shelf, and I'm pretty certain.
The reading shelf.
The red shelf. It's not on the to-be-read shelf.
That doesn't mean anything. That means I could have read it last year.
I'm pretty sure. I believe on Goodreads it had you reading it this year. Do you want me to read somewhere else?
Yeah, find just like another random passage.
On top of my father's funeral, Benji, Andor's ghost, was something I didn't need.
Duh.
But I couldn't ignore him either.
Hold on, I know this one. It's The Dead Romantics.
Yes.
Dang it.
Got it.
Carver?
apparently he
A bird cage.
in a truck, and they're talking
Well,
about Harry
there are
Potter.
like the crows. And
I don't know. I haven't read it, so I can't give you any context other than I read you like 3 pages.
it was like maybe 3.5 pages. Sorry. I should remember names better.
That's okay.
Okay.
So how was this book?
I gave it 4 stars.
Oh, great.
I enjoyed this one.
Must have been very memorable.
Yeah, it was really, really memorable. Shoot. Okay. Author. At her dad's funeral. I might need to like pause this and read about this.
Here, let me jog your memory. Florence Day is a ghostwriter for the most prolific romance authors in the industry.
Oh, yes.
And she is a problem. After a terrible breakup, she no longer believes in love.
I do hate that
It is
trope.
as good as dead.
I do hate that trope.
When a new editor, a too handsome mountain of a man, wouldn't give her an extension for a book deadline, Florence prepares to kiss her career goodbye. But then she gets a phone call she never wanted to receive, and she must return home for the first time in a decade to help her family bury her beloved father.
Okay. I get this really mixed up with The Unknown Beloved. That's what I guessed. No. I read this back to back. And The Unknown Beloved is about dead people. This one is also about dead
It's
people.
like the problem I had with The Fate of the Fallen and Under the Whispering Door. Yeah.
Okay, but the birdcage, I don't know, got me. But she does have some really weird tasks to do for that funeral. So I guess that fits because every time she sees a crow, she's about to see a dead person.
I know this book.
What?
This is the book where she falls in love with a ghost.
It does feel a lot like, what's that one with Zac Efron?
I have no idea. But this is the one she falls in love with a ghost, right? Right, and he's dead, and I kept wondering how on earth you're going to have a love story with a ghosty ghost. And then, of course, naturally...
You just gave away the whole plot.
It's just a ghosty ghost.
Yeah. So there's a ghosty ghost.
Yeah.
But he's her boss, so, like, it's confusing.
That's confusing. He's dead.
He's dead.
How's he your boss?
It's complicated. I'm remembering more and more, and I really like this book. Shoot. But also, I wish I remembered a little better. I'm getting it so mixed up with the other one. The other one, she can, I hope you don't have it in there. Do you have it in there?
I'm not telling you.
Okay. I'm just getting it really mixed up. Because one is, like, set in the 1900s, and it's in Chicago, and it's, like, murder mystery.
Mm-hmm.
This one is, like, just a rom-com. It reminds me so much of that one with Zac Efron. The movie, what is that book called?
You mean the movie called?
It's a book and a movie.
Don't know.
Yeah, sorry.
Don't know. That's all right. But clearly this needs
really
to go
lost.
into the review before we talk about it again.
We
Stage.
need one of those shelves for me, except for that would be, like, all of my books.
Well,
Or just, like, this is going to be confusing. Maybe, like, think about it harder. I don't know.
it is hard. I completely understand that confusion of 2 books that are similar at the same time. So, Age of Myth that I read.
Yeah.
There was another one that I read right at the same time. There's another fantasy book, and I can't remember what it was, but I was worried I was going to get those mixed up as well.
Funny.
It was all.
It, like, hurts my
there.
brain to think about how similar those books are.
All right, is it my turn?
No,
to
I'm
read?
hiding.
Okay.
I'm hiding. I'm
Okay.
looking. Don't know if you can see that. Alrighty, ready?
Yep, I'm ready.
You're talking every working man in all the 9. Ricard nodded solemnly. The warriors sent a small delegation to Ipile. Nothing so underhanded as trying to sell out Adjo, mind you. Simply a letter of intent that the warriors wanted to spread outside Adjo. Sorry, these words are hard. Throughout the whole 9. It's well known the Kez outnumber us. But they don't have anything to match our industry. We offer a number of small incentives if they let us start a chapter house in one of their cities.
Oh, this is Pattern Mage. Promise of Blood.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, right there.
Powder
Sorry.
Mage series is it was called.
Book
So this
one.
is the conversation he's having with a guy that's in charge of a union, and so he's talking about wanting to expand the union into all the cities. I remember this now. Yeah. 5-star book, one of the best ones I've read so far this year.
Wow.
Definitely recommend. Love. It's basically the Napoleonic Wars with magic.
Oh, cool.
Right. So the mages, there's 2 factions kind of magic in here, but the mages use gunpowder. That is like their source of magic, and they can cause bullets to fly faster, change direction, trajectory, like a bunch of different things. Has a little bit of Mistborn bent to it if you think about it kind of that way.
Okay.
But they like someone shoots at someone, and the guy just like consumes the bullet because he consumes the magic because he's that's where they get their magic from, and they become like faster, quicker, like super speed, a bunch of things from that. From the gunpowder and from the
fun.
bullets.
That's very cool.
And so it's really an interesting thing, and it starts with basically a coup where they overthrow the government, and it's going from there. And just really richly detailed, interesting, fun, and in a setting that I didn't think I would like, but I ended up loving. So loved it, 5-star, all the way. Really excited to read the next one.
That's awesome.
I have no idea how long the series is, but I'm excited for it.
Would you recommend it to me?
Yes, I think it'd be good. It is a little complex. Sometimes you don't like the complexity in the books.
Sometimes I don't.
And it doesn't seem to have kind of the payoff that you get with some of the other complexities like you do in like Stormlight or Wheel of Time, at least not yet. It is fast-paced. It is busy and complex and has lots of characters that you have to think of and doesn't really hold your hand with helping you explain things, understand things.
I've got enough of those right now.
Yep, but it feels like it would be an acquired taste, but if it fits your taste, you would love it.
Fun.
Right. So anyways, really, really good. And also my understanding is it's by a local author. So,
cool.
Brian McClellan, come hang out. I'd love to see more of your books. You're good. All right. You ready?
Yeah.
I think it's the last one we've got here.
Ready.
Okay. All right. We didn't eat at the giant table piled with crap, thanks to Winfield's having another table in the kitchen where it was a lot tidier on the whole. A lady named Maddie Kate set out the meal loaf and coleslaw and finished whipping down everything in sight with the tail of her apron, then said good night and left the three of us to eat our supper. They didn't say any blessing, just dug in, with Angus still wearing that hat at the table and Coach in his...
Stop. Angus. Demon Copperhead.
Indeed it is Demon Copperhead.
I'm surprised you didn't get a swear word in that
I was
paragraph.
also surprised that I didn't get it because you said that half of the book is swear words apparently.
It is.
Oh.
That's a fair warning right there.
So here's my review of this, having not read it and only had talking to you. Basically, you're in a teenage boy's brain.
Oh, yes. Never have I ever read a book where I have been transported so thoroughly into someone else's brain.
Welcome to being a teenage boy. What can I say?
This book kind of broke me. I loved it and I hated it. It was so good, so well written. Like, I need to read all of Barbara Kingsolver's books, every single one. Like, I'm hooked. I love her stuff. I love her style. But man, was it heavy. It was so heavy and so like down in the dumps, and I was a depressed human while I read that book. I needed to finish it as fast as possible so I could just move on with my life. It's supposed to be like a David Copperfield spin-off, but like modern times, Appalachia, like, I don't know, ghetto, lots of drugs, lots of teenage boy thoughts, lots of swear words. Do I feel like I'm a better human because I read it? No. In fact, there's a part in this book that I literally had to just turn the page. Like, I don't want to know what's about to happen. Like, I just was so immersed in that world. It is not a fun world to be immersed in, but some of the characters, very memorable.
Do you remember their names?
Fast, Speed,
Fast Speed.
What is his name? They all have nicknames. Like, his name's Demon, but his name's Damon, but he goes by Demon. Like, it's kind of like, they're all like, fast forward.
Fast Forward. How about read Fast Forward?
I got it. Fast forward. Gosh. I like kind of want to just like I don't want to see it again, but I also like, I'm glad I read it. I can't recommend it to anyone though, because it's too much.
Interesting.
Really good.
Well, I mean, it was the book I think you got answered the quickest of all these, so it must have been the most memorable. Or maybe you're just doing process of elimination.
Billy and
Okay,
Daisy.
Billy, that didn't count. It's a Billy and Daisy in
But
one
Angus,
line.
Angus is a really good character to pull
okay.
up too.
All
So
right. So, good.
Angus is a girl.
Great. All right, so out of all the books we brought out, which one would you recommend? You have to recommend one. Which one would you pick?
I don't know that I probably. Sorry, I can't remember what they are.
It's going to be the Spanish Love Deception, isn't it?
No.
If you want to blush a lot.
What's my last one?
I think I have it over here.
Yeah, and I have one of yours.
Daisy on the 6.
Oh, that's the one.
Okay.
If you can handle a little bit of rock and roll messiness, this is the one. Maybe next I would actually say The Dead Romantics, which is funny because I don't remember it that well, obviously, but the more I'm like...
Which one of these would be your least recommended?
Probably the Once and Future Witches.
Okay.
But I don't know. It just depends on your morals. But it's just a hard book to read. It's really big. It lasts forever. It's gonna swallow you. Anyway, and this one's probably right in the middle. It was a really fun one.
All right.
Okay, how about yours?
It's really hard because these are excellent books. I've been on a really good book reading streak lately, so I haven't had very many. I started the year with a few where I like, these are awful, but I've jumped in some great ones. So like Fate of the Fallen, I would definitely recommend. Promise of Blood, I loved, but we talked about how that may be more for more advanced fantasy readers, I would say. Essentialism, I think, would be a good book for anyone to read. Anyone at all. It obviously isn't fantasy, but literally anyone, I think, could focus more on the right things for them and less on everything else in life. I freaking love the Elderling Saga and just phenomenal book. Age of Myth was good. And I'm excited for the rest of them. So it is kind of an interesting thing. I guess out of all of these, I would recommend this one the least, but that is not saying I would not recommend it. It just is just the least out of all of these. I think the one I recommend the most here, I'm gonna have to go with Fool's Assassin, just out of the fact that you're gonna have to have read everything else to get here, and it is just worth it. It really is. If you're reading just one book and one book only, then I'd pick up Essentialism, because fantasy books are amazing, but sometimes a book that's going to help you throughout your whole life, like helping you realize how essential fantasy books are, is worth the read.
Fun.
So this was guessing games of our favorite books, or I guess maybe not favorite books, of the books that we've read so far in 2023.
Yes. How many books have you read this year so far? And
how would you do if you did this type of guessing game? Do you remember names, characters, those type of things? Yeah.
Yeah. I'm not the greatest.
Would you date a ghost? That's the question I'm going to leave you with here.
It's what happens is he dies within like the first page.
Yeah. And then she dates him. I'm Blake.
I'm Jamie.
And we're Blamie.
I guess so.
See you later.